gambling epidemic is no longer confined to the smoke-filled rooms of casinos or the neon-lit streets of Las Vegas. Many celebrities and famous personalities have been spotted promoting gambling, sometimes indirectly, through their endorsements and actions. From sports stars to social media influencers, their subtle nods to gambling platforms have played a significant role in normalizing this behavior. But why would they do this, and what's the real cost? Let's dive deeper. It's everywhere, insidiously woven into the fabric of our daily lives, influencing politics, sports, video games, and even the dreams of children. But here's a question. Have you ever wondered just how deeply gambling has infiltrated your life, or the lives of those you care about, without you even noticing? This is not just about money or entertainment. This is about manipulation, exploitation, and control. By the end of this video, you'll uncover the dark, controversial, and mysterious truths the gambling industry doesn't want you to know. What they've hidden in plain sight may shock you, and it's something everyone needs to hear. Polymarket, a crypto-based prediction platform, provides a shocking window into this world. Ahead of the 2024 US presidential election, while mainstream outlets hesitated, Polymarket boldly called the results in favor of Donald Trump. This wasn't just a lucky guess. It was the culmination of millions of dollars in peer-to-peer betting on real-world events. By the time the election dust settled, the FBI had raided the home of Polymarket's CEO. But Polymarket's story is merely the tip of the iceberg. Today, gambling is no longer just a game. It's a system, a culture, and for some, a trap designed to exploit the most vulnerable. To understand how we got here, let's start with the massive shifts in gambling over the past few decades. In 2018, the US Supreme Court overturned a federal ban on sports betting, giving states the power to legalize it.
This morning, striking down the federal ban on sports betting, now at least.
Almost immediately, gambling went digital. Companies launched apps and platforms that let users bet on everything from the outcome of a basketball game to the next season of a reality TV show. And with this shift came a dramatic rise in gambling addiction. Hotline calls skyrocketed. Entire families were devastated by financial ruin. And yet, the industry thrived, raking in billions. In sports, the symbiotic relationship between gambling and the games themselves has become impossible to ignore. Research by the University of South Carolina's Stephen Shapiro highlights how the rise in sports betting directly boosts viewership and engagement. In the UK, where gambling regulation has been lax for years, nearly every football team proudly displays a betting company's logo on their jerseys. During matches, gambling ads flood the airwaves, often sneaking into the smallest gaps in programming. In the US, these ads are now tailored to capitalize on American football's frequent pauses, making it easier than ever to gamble between plays. And it's not just adults being targeted. In a troubling trend, gambling has crept into the lives of teenagers and children. A 2014 report by the UK Gambling Commission revealed that the percentage of 11 to 17-year-olds with gambling problems more than doubled in just 1 year. But this isn't just about betting shops or sports. It's about video games, the Trojan horse of gambling culture. Major game developers have realized they can make far more money from in-game purchases than from selling the games themselves. The premium model, offering a free basic game with paid upgrades, has evolved into a predatory system. Loot boxes, in particular, have transformed the gaming landscape. These virtual crates, which contain random rewards, mimic the mechanics of slot machines. The thrill of opening a box, the rush of seeing a rare item, and the crushing disappointment of getting something worthless. It's all engineered to keep players coming back for more. Take FIFA, one of the world's most popular sports games. Players can purchase packs of virtual cards to build their dream team. While the game officially states that these packs are random, leaked data showed that the odds of getting top-tier players were astronomically low. It's no wonder some players, including high-profile influencers, have spent thousands, even tens of thousands on these digital items. For children, who might not grasp the financial consequences, these systems are particularly dangerous. They're being conditioned to gamble before they even have a credit card. Famous personalities have also fallen victim to gambling's allure. Take professional athlete Michael Jordan, a basketball legend whose competitive nature extended beyond the court. Jordan's gambling habits were so notorious that they reportedly strained his finances during his playing days. While Jordan's wealth eventually offset any losses,
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby.
the story highlights how even the most disciplined individuals can struggle to resist gambling's pull. But perhaps the darkest aspect of this epidemic is how it exploits the struggles of the financially desperate. As economic inequality widens and more people find themselves barely scraping by, gambling offers an illusion of escape. The idea that one lucky win could solve all their problems is intoxicating. Unfortunately, the reality is far bleaker. For every person who wins big, countless others lose everything. Streaming platforms like Twitch and Kick have amplified this problem by glamorizing gambling. Streamers, often funded by gambling companies, broadcast themselves playing high-stakes slots or roulette, complete with flashy graphics and massive wins. What they don't show is the fine print. These streams are heavily manipulated. The streamers are playing with house money, and the odds are skewed in their favor. But to their audiences, especially impressionable teenagers, it all looks real. Gambling companies know this. It's why they're willing to bankroll these streams. The more viewers see big wins, the more likely they are to sign up and play themselves. And then there's Polymarket. It's not just a platform for gambling. It's a glimpse into a new frontier where speculation blurs the line between finance and betting. Polymarket's peer-to-peer model eliminates the traditional house that skims profits off the top. Instead, users buy shares in potential outcomes, with prices fluctuating based on consensus. For example, if you believe a certain movie will top the box office, you can buy shares in that outcome. If it succeeds, you profit. If it fails, you lose. While this might sound innovative, it's fraught with dangers. Unregulated platforms like Polymarket open the door to insider trading, market manipulation, and scams like wash trading. In the lead-up to the 2024 election, a Fortune investigation found evidence that as much as a third of Polymarket's activity was artificially inflated. Yet, the platform continues to grow, drawing millions in trading volume every month. Governments are scrambling to respond. In 2022, the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission fined Polymarket $1.4 million and banned it from operating in the U.S. Yet enforcement has been patchy at best. Polymarket's founder has framed the platform's legal troubles as political persecution, claiming it's being targeted because it operates outside traditional power structures. And there may be some truth to that. Governments rarely object to gambling when they're profiting from it. Lotteries, for example, generate billions in revenue for states, often marketed as harmless fun while exploiting the same psychological triggers as slot machines. At its core, the gambling epidemic reflects a society increasingly driven by financial instability and materialism. For many, gambling offers a brief escape from the pressures of daily life. But for those who fall into its trap, the consequences can be devastating: broken families, ruined careers, and crippling debt. Yet, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Organizations like Gamblers Anonymous provide support for those struggling with addiction. Some former addicts credit their recovery to early intervention by loved ones who noticed the problem and stepped in. And while regulation alone won't solve everything, it's a necessary step. Countries like Norway have taken aggressive measures to curb gambling's influence, banning certain types of advertising and imposing strict limits on online betting. These policies have shown promise, reducing the number of new gambling addicts and curbing losses. The question is, will other countries follow suit? Or will they continue to allow the industry to flourish, prioritizing profits over people? One thing is clear: the gambling epidemic isn't just a personal problem. It's a societal one. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling addiction, don't hesitate to seek help. It's never too late to take the first step toward recovery.